Hi guys, welcome back to Newcastle Fans TV. This is the preview for the Brighton game on Saturday night. Newcastle go in this game in the bottom three. Aston Villa's point against West Ham means that they go above Newcastle on goal difference. And now this game against Brighton is absolutely huge for Steve Bruce in particular. He's looking for his first home win in charge. You know, he's only got the one win so far, and that was against Tottenham at the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So this is a fantastic opportunity for Newcastle to pick up three huge points considering the games that we've got coming up, especially the likes of Leicester, Manchester United, Chelsea and Wolves at the end of October, all still to come. So this is really, really important for Steve Bruce. Just a quick little mention before I go even further with the preview. I'm wearing one of the retro tops that I got from the back page. It's free retro as well. If you want to get some classic shirts, I got this for £25. The only thing that's missing is the little thing because I ripped it off by mistake, but this is the first top that I bought as when I was at Newcastle. The first time I watched Newcastle was this top with Shearer and Bellamy and Robert. So it brings back great memories for me. So yeah, if you want to get tops, classic tops from when you were first supporting Newcastle, then obviously free retro classic tops, so the link will be in the description for that. So let's get on to the preview. So Newcastle go into this game after losing 3-1 to Liverpool at Anfield. Again, no surprises that Newcastle lost the game, but it was a better performance than I think most people expected, it has to be said. I thought defensively, we were okay considering the type of players that were up against, the likes of Sadio Mane, Roberto Firmino, Mo Salah in particular. They give the best defences torrid time, so the fact that Newcastle made it difficult for the first half an hour, 40 minutes is probably encouraging, considering that the strikers that we're going to be up against on Saturday aren't going to be the same quality. But Neil Maupay for Brighton is the man in form. Scored last week against Burnley. He's probably the main man that Newcastle have to watch. So Jamal Lascelles, Fabian Schär, if he's fit, obviously he came off with a bit where you think would just be cramp. And Steve Bruce hasn't done his press conference yet. So hopefully Fabian Schär is available for that. But I still expect Newcastle to be quite comfortable at the back regardless of who Brighton put on. Brighton go with, if they go with Maupay, if they go with Murray, or even if they go with both. On Saturday night. In terms of Newcastle, you know, going forward is where we really need to capitalise on that. This is a big performance I'm hoping for from Miguel Almiron. He really needs to get on the goal scoring sheet, or he needs to make an assist. He just needs to do something that Newcastle fans going, right, now we're seeing the real Miguel Almiron. But it's Christian Atsu that looks more of a threat at the minute. I think obviously if you take away the mistake for the second goal, I think it was a pretty good performance for Christian Atsu. Got crosses into the box, and he obviously set up the goal for Willems as well. You know, he seems to be Newcastle's main attacking threat from the wings, which I don't think many Newcastle fans would have said about 6-7 months ago. So it just shows that Christian Atsu has been fantastic. He's improving, and Steve Bruce trusts him, just like Rafa Benitez did last season. So if Newcastle are going to get any joy, it is down those flanks, because Brighton do play three centre halves. So if Brighton are attacking, counter-attacking football, Newcastle have got to go with, and if they attack the flanks, there'll be a lot of space, especially on the right back, left back area, because they're very similar to our kind of formation. Obviously, Newcastle play the three main centre halves, and then obviously have the full backs as wing backs rather. So I think both sides will probably looking to counter-attack each other. It might be a bit of a stalemate to start with, and it might be a bit dull and a bit boring to start with, but I think maybe half an hour, maybe 35 minutes, I think Newcastle might have to take a few chances and try and get the first goal of the game. Newcastle, probably, you might expect maybe make a couple of changes. I think at right full back or right wing back, depending on how Steve goes with it, I expect it to be wing backs. It'll be interesting to see if Emil Kraft plays. I think Javier Manquillo should start on Saturday. I think this is a massive game for Newcastle, as we've mentioned, with the games coming up. And I think you've got to stick with maybe someone that's a bit more consistent at the minute. And I think Javier Manquillo, for me, is more consistent than Emil Kraft. So I would drop Kraft on Saturday and bring Manquillo in. Obviously, Jetro Willems will continue at left wing back with Matt Ritchie still injured. So it's a big game for both. You need to try and get both good attacking threats and defensive threats. It seems like one is better than the other at certain aspects. You see Willems as a better attacking full back or wing back, and Manquillo is a bit more defensive minded and has been a better defensive minded wing back for the last 4 or 5 games that we're seeing in a Newcastle shirt, has to be said. But it's going to be a tough game as well. Brighton go in just with one win, and that was against Watford on the first day of the season, but they've picked up points against Burnley as well. They drew with West Ham earlier on, I think it was the second game of the season. So they have picked up a few points. They've got one more point than us in the league. So they'll be looking at this as a winnable game as well. I think if you offered Brighton a point, though, I think they would take it. I think they will be there to frustrate Newcastle as much as possible. It'd be interesting to see who's on the bench for Newcastle. If saint-maximin's back, if Andy Carroll's back, if Dwight Gale exists. I don't know what's going on with Dwight Gale, but it'll be interesting to see who's on the bench and what reinforcements Steve Bruce has got. And just finally, just on Steve Bruce, I think he must have been targeting this game when he got the set of fixtures and when he was announcing Newcastle manager, going, got to win this game. I've got to get 3 points against Brighton at home because they're going to be a team near the bottom. With Newcastle, unfortunately, it seems that I think there'll probably be 6 or 7 teams really battling for survival, and I think Newcastle and Brighton will be both hoping to stay above 18th this season because it's going to be quite close, and I don't think there's a lot in it between the two sides at all. My prediction for the game on Saturday night, 5:30 as well, so it should be a good night if Newcastle can win. Obviously, hopefully the whole city will be buzzing after if Newcastle can get 3 points, and I expect Newcastle to get 3 points. I think Newcastle will just have enough to beat Brighton. I think Newcastle will win this game by 2-0. I think Joe Linton will get on the score sheet. He's improved since the Norwich game for sure. And I don't know, I've just got a funny feeling that Almiron might get on the score sheet as well. Get your predictions in, get your comments in. How do you think Newcastle will line up against Brighton? Who do you think Brighton's main strengths are? Is it through Neil Maupay? Is it from Glenn Murray? Or is it with a defensive partnership with Shane Duffy and Lewis Dunk? Like and subscribe to Newcastle Fans TV, and we'll see you at the game on Saturday.